applause. Actor, you may recognize him. You might recognize me for a little.
Very nice.
So, yeah. All right, so we're going to do a little Q&A here.
I would like to start out by saying thank you so much to everyone coming out. Many of you, if not all of you, in some way participated in making this. And you know, we have many of the crew members here. We have the cinematographer, we have the production designer, we have the costume, we have casting directors here, we have actors here. But everyone else that participated in the fundraising and even the support along the way, I very much appreciate all of you guys coming out tonight. So thank you. I have neighbors here.
Thank you. All right, so well, I got a question first, and I feel like it's quite fitting because we do have the casting director in the house tonight, Sigby Miguel, sitting right there. So coming from being able to be a part of the script, like reading the script, and then and then now seeing it on film and everything, the casting process is such an integral part of this, and it's such an ensemble piece. Like seeing it. So can you, what was some of the casting process on who came first, where these filled in, and what your process was with that?
Well, I think the success of the movie is contingent on the cast, and it's so vital that we have the best cast. So initially we went out to get the best casting director we could get, and I love Steve, and they did a tremendous job. They created lists and lists and lists in which that we went through and kind of narrowed it down, saw what schedules were like for these actors. And then we opened it up to auditions. So we had, I think it was close to 400 tapes, self-tapes that came in. And it was a very small window of time that we had to review all these before we shot. So, Melissa would be beside me asleep in bed, and it'd be 3 in the morning, and I'd be watching it on my phone. It's not fair to the actors out there. This is not a proper way to do this, but it's just crucial that we get through all of them. In my delirious state, I would, I think like this one, I'm writing down a notepad, and I'd send it over to Eric Cotty, who is a confidant of mine and a producer on this movie. And am I crazy? Are these the 15? And he would whittle it down for me, and we, of course, with Sig's blessing, we would go out to these actors, and we got really lucky. I mean, I think maybe it was the timing, or maybe it was the material, but we got really lucky, and we had no rehearsal time. People just flew into Michigan and started working that day or the next day. It was wild. And the next one, if I ever get a chance, we will have plenty of rehearsal time. But we hired the best actors that we could, and they're all pros. So that when they went in, they came in off book. They knew what they were doing, and they meshed better, and they made the material better than I ever could have imagined. So I'm very, very fortunate for Sig and the cast and the talent that we brought together. So.
All right, so I got very good. I got one
SAG,
more,
by the way, SAG strong.
Yeah. I got one more question, then I'm gonna open it up to the audience. So this was filmed, as many of you know, during peak COVID time, basically.
The C word, we're not supposed to use
Yes,
that word.
pandemic. Yeah, and so I know firsthand that how this took wow. I mean, if it's not almost impossible to make an independent film as it is during COVID, is just crazy. So I know there was so much things, obstacles to overcome, and this is kind of the point that I knew you were meant for this. When I arrived on set in Michigan and expected to see you just kind of stressed and crazy, you were kind of cool as a cucumber on set, and I was like, wow, this okay, he's meant for this. But was there any point in the shooting of this that you were like, this might not happen?
No, not at all. Of course, it was a daily thing, and we tried our best, and we adhered to SAG's mandates, OSHA's. We had an in at CDC, CDC, and we tried our best, but we had our back against the wall, and we had a lot of issues. It was something that, you know, it was whispered every day on set, how we can get shut down. And you know, being shut down, for us, it was a huge deal. We only had less than a month to shoot this movie, and any ripple, which there were many ripples, really threw us out. And you know, Meg Case here in the audience, and like I made her build this construction site like 3 times because we were going to shoot it and then we weren't, and then we were going to shoot it and we weren't, and we had one schedule when we started this project. By the end, we had 14 versions of that schedule. We had to move things around. We had to fly people in, fly people out. It was wild, and you put it nicely. It's impossible to make an independent movie. It's doubly impossible to make an independent movie in a pandemic. But we muddled through, and you know our crew, they rolled with the punches, and our cast was always game. And you know, I was talking to Shmeni about this 2 days ago. She plays Darlene, and she's like, "Yeah, I just didn't leave my hotel room for a month." That was how she got through it. So yeah, it was not fun. Traumatic, I would say. But you know, we were experiencing that while trying to make a fun little movie. And, you know, a lot of people out there were having a lot of harder times than we were. So I got to keep that in perspective. But yeah,
I can attest to that. Everybody just went to their hotel rooms and just stayed there. So, does anyone in the audience have any questions that they'd like to ask at this time?
So, there we go. We got one in the back there. I was going to make up questions on your behalf.
I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about your prime directorial influences. I noticed a lot of shots kind of coming down from up, reminded me a lot of Citizen Kane, Orson Welles. I just wanted you to talk about that.
Well, much of that is Brad Porter, who's in the house, by the way. I just kept throwing directors' names at Brad while we were shooting, and he was like, sure, Travis, okay, yeah. This is the way we're actually going to do it. No, I obviously love Sidney Lumet. I think he's so efficient with his filmmaking and his use of space, and that's something that I'm proud of. And there's a sequence where he goes to talk to the lawyer, and that's all shot in one room. We made it look like 3 rooms. We just moved the desk around and shot different directions, and we did what we had to do. Yeah, I mean, to speak about the greats, like, I'd bore you all, so I'm gonna keep it short. Hey, we got down front.
I was just curious if Emmaus is in some ways like the town you grew up in.
It is literally the town I grew up in.
Oh.
I did not grow up in Emmaus, Michigan. That's a fictional town. There was it's a biblical town, or name, I should say. And when I was looking for a name that represented Eagle Rapids, Michigan, where I grew up, I knew someone from Emmaus, Pennsylvania, and I'm like, oh, well, this is nice. So I wish it was cooler than that, but it really just sounded nice, and it hit. So yeah, this is my hometown. So this main street is the main street. It still looks the same as when I was a kid, and we had a lot of help from the local authorities. Like we had the chief of police on speed dial. I got a couple of speeding tickets as a result.
You still have his number.
Yeah, Larry Weeks, shout out to them. And they actually provided us uniformed officers for some of the stunt driving, you know, and the mayor was super helpful. He was a funny guy. He basically just let us do whatever we wanted, and we asked later. Like at one point, we rolled up on their new it's called Mills Point. It's a park that they just opened. Huge grip truck backing in. I'm taking off signs myself with a screwdriver and like disassembling things, and we had this like Brad's like putting up this like dolly track, and then we look over and the mayor is in a kayak on the river, and he's just like, "Hey guys." Couldn't be better. I mean, it felt like Portlandia.
I gotta say, we screened this in my hometown of Pottstown, PA, which is close to Emmaus. A couple weeks ago, I hosted a film festival there, and it was like it's almost like it's it just relates to every small town, a lot of small towns, you know? There was a lot of shots in here that like, I was like, wow, that looks like Pottstown, PA, or, you
We all know a duck.
Yeah, we all know a guy. I love that guy. No? Going
Well,
once?
I can't say enough. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me along the way. Thank you for laughing at my jokes. And you can tell me in person how much you loved it or hated it afterwards. But we're gonna all go down to Trees Lounge. Whoever wants to join us, which is on the second floor. If you guys want to just mingle a little bit more and have more one-on-one time.
What's your next movie?
Sig is casting it, so we have a few things in the air. We have Dirty Hands, which is a kind of Brooklyn set, horror thriller. You know, I'm not much on gore and violence, so it'll be tame. And we have another one that's I'm calling it Aqueduct until they sue me. But it's basically My Dinner with Andre and a horse track. So. Well, thank you so much.